the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria. For delivery, call 603-782-8450. Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town. 1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Best cocktails around. Come in as friends and leave as family.
You are listening to WMNH-LP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
Welcome, everybody. Here we go. I thought we'd start the show today with some Able Blood, their epic track, Mental Note, because their name came up a couple of times on the show yesterday. We had Hands of Spite in studio with us yesterday as our musical guest, and I think they were a referral from Able Blood, but and Adam Jocelyn from Able Blood was in the chat room, so I figured we'd play that track. I know it's a little long, but to me it doesn't feel like it. That's an 11.5-minute song, but it's not like Inagata Vita, which, you know, if you listen to the long version, it feels like the long version. But no, Mental Note, man, that's you just kind of you just get lost in it, or at least I do. So I love that. Welcome, everybody. It is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Did I say Comcast? Did I slip and say 97 again? I meant channel 6. I can only say 6 if I actually stop and think about what I'm saying. We're on Comcast channel 6 in Manchester, not 97. One of these days, one of these weeks, I'm gonna go an entire week without getting it wrong. Speaking of musical guests, by the way, we have a great musical guest coming up today in the second hour. The band After the Winter will be here with us in studio, and we're going to play some of their music later, and we're going to talk with those guys. I think but they won't be here right at the top of the hour. I think their ETA, last I knew, was about 5:20. Apparently they are stuck in traffic, but they're on their way here. So I'm really looking forward to meeting these guys. Fair warning, it's going to get loud and heavy. They're not going to play live in studio. They're just coming in to talk, but we are going to feature some of their music, and I really love it. This is track 1400 BC, it's called, and it's so good. It's so good. If you like that kind of thing, not everyone's going to like it. Some people don't like the growling vocals, but when done right, I think it sounds great. So, and these guys do it right. So I'm looking forward to meeting them. So they will be here at some point in the second hour. So we look forward to that. Let's see. Today is Thursday, by the way. So I do want to remind everybody, of course, Thursday is trivia night at the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan right across the street at 1000 Elm Street. They've got those delicious gourmet pretzels. They've got an assortment of craft beer. And on Thursdays, they have trivia night hosted by the great Broderick Lang. So if you are going to join them, though, I strongly recommend to you that you call ahead to reserve a spot for trivia, because that is a very, very popular feature there. Those spots fill up very quickly. So call ahead, but unless you're just going to show up for some pretzels and beer, in which case no need to call ahead. But if you want to reserve your spot for trivia for your team, I do suggest calling ahead for trivia night at the Hop Knot. If you would like to join us, 603-250-6007 is the studio line, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. And by the way, I'm glad I saw this. I wish I had seen it sooner, but I'm glad I saw it before I got too much further. The Hop Knot has posted on social media. Trivia is canceled for tonight, but will resume next week. But the Hop Knot is still open 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So go there anyway. Enjoy some pretzels and beer. But yes, trivia night tonight is canceled. Don't bother calling ahead. No need to call ahead if you're just going for pretzels and beer. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else the Hop Knot's got going on this weekend that I should tell you all about. Oh, Saturday night. They have live music on Saturday night. The great Kevin Horan, who has been a guest on this show, he is going to be performing there. So definitely, I think it doesn't say the time here that he's playing. I think they usually play 7 to 9 p.m. The live musicians on Saturdays. But Kevin's amazing. When he was on this show, he came in, he brought his acoustic guitar, he played a bunch of tunes live for us, and just a great guy too. Really enjoyed talking to him. But yeah, go to the Hop Knot Saturday night. Say hi to Kevin Horan, a great guy and a very talented musician. And he used to be in a band called the Stone Road Band, and we occasionally feature some of their music on the show too. So really, really good stuff. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Eric Street is asking in the chat room, does the Hop Knot serve coffee? I don't know. I don't remember seeing coffee there. Doesn't mean they don't have it. And I'm not really a coffee drinker myself, so it might be that they do. You know what? They probably don't, though, because you've got A&E Coffee right next door. And I don't think they necessarily want to... Oh, I forgot to mute my phone. That's embarrassing. It happens about once every couple of months. I'll forget to mute my phone. I'm usually really good about that. Yeah, Jenny said in the chat room, I think they serve or will get you A&E Coffee. John Hopwood says all bars serve coffee. That is not true, John Hopwood. And the reason I happen to know that is because when the last Miracle on Elm Street that we did that was at the bonfire, Jenny tried to get coffee there, and there was no coffee to be had. Pat told her, nope, we have no coffee. So John says, for obvious reasons. Well, they didn't have it at the bonfire. Jenny says in the chat room, they have an agreement with A&D Coffee. The two businesses are super tight. Yeah, so they might get you coffee from A&D, but they don't serve their own coffee at the Hop Knot. So we'll see who else we have in the chat room, and then we'll get into some stuff. Carol Zaworowitz joins us in the chat. Hello, Carol. Jay Fed, of course, from the great state of Vermont, joins us and says, good afternoon, everyone. Jenny, as I mentioned, is in the chat and says, shalom, peeps. And, of course, I mentioned John Hopwood is in there. Isaac Banks says, hello there, Matt. Good afternoon. Hello, Isaac. Good afternoon, Jen Coffee. How are you doing, says Isaac Banks. Easy G, Eric Gagnon says, happy Friday Eve. Yes. Isaac Banks says, I heard you had a band on your show yesterday. Was Hands of Spite. Is that right? Yes, Hands of Spite were here. Great guys. I really enjoyed meeting them. And they played live in studio, sounded amazing, and we featured some studio tracks as well. Eric Pilcher joins us in the Facebook live chat. Of course, you can hear every Friday Eric Pilcher's classic film review. And this week it is George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. And Shannon is on the line. Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
Hey.
I think all bars or whatever should have a little jar of instant, at least, coffee, because maybe somebody goes to these places, you know, for the atmosphere and not the beer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
If you're not a drinker, but you want to be there and participate and whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. So there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm saving something for tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Well, we will.
It's Friday.
Well, we will wait with bated breath.
Bated breath.
Whatever that means. I've never understood that expression.
I don't know what it means either. Look it up. No, just kidding.
Well, all right, Shannon.
But didn't you you didn't get Matt Juno's memo? There's no camera in there.
Huh?
Huh? You didn't listen to the morning show, huh?
I heard part of it. I don't know what you're talking about.
They were talking about having a murder mystery thing, and you know I have to. I don't like fancy pants haters out there. I don't have a house and a garage and a pool and walls that are thick that I can crank my music at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, I don't have a phone attached to my hip either. So it takes me a while to get to the phone, and anyway, I had said a riddle. Right? Is it okay? I know you know this quote, or at least Hoppy does. I know this much. A riddle wrapped in a mystery inside of an enigma.
Yep, I've heard that.
I just found out who coined that phrase just like a few months ago. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
Churchill, right?
Did he?
Was it?
I have no idea. I've never looked it up. Couldn't tell you.
And Well, what I had heard, what I was reading, said that he had said that, and it was in regards to Russia. Now, if that's not right, then it's not right. But if it is, good. And Hoppy will tell you if he's in there.
John Hopwood is in there. He said it was Chubby Checker.
Who?
Chubby Checker? I think he says it in the twist.
Yeah.
Not the original twist, but in Let's Twist, Let's Twist again, like we did last summer. Yeah. It's a riddle wrapped in an enigma inside a
how's
mystery.
Hoppy doing?
Huh?
How's Hoppy doing?
I have no idea.
I call him Hoppy. I didn't ask him.
I hope he's well.
I like Hoppy, though.
Of course, we all do. Well, not all of us, but most of us. I do. Well, sometimes he's cheerful. Sometimes he's grumpy. But we love him. We do love him.
Everybody's grumpy sometimes.
That's
true. I felt
true.
bad for Robbie O this morning. He's got to take a day off.
Why is that?
Because either the sound was off or he was hitting those keys hard. Because I don't know which, but he wasn't. I could just tell he wasn't playing himself. He wasn't himself today.
Who was he?
He was someone else that's fed up, probably, I don't know, tired, wants a break, doesn't need flack, and wants to get his job done.
Okay.
Once in a while. I don't know, I can't speak for him.
Nope.
Is he in there?
Nope, I haven't seen him.
In the face, the book of face?
I haven't seen his name.
Okay. Because I don't want to think or feel for people either.
Right. Don't think or feel for people.
But no, you can feel for someone, but don't. I hate it when someone. Oh, I figured. I guessed. I thought. Don't do that.
Right. Don't figure, guess, or think. Is what you're saying.
Right. Ask the question. Don't assume. In other words. So what you got going on today?
Oh, just doing a radio show.
And who's playing?
Oh, that's what you meant.
Studio?
After the winter, we'll be here.
After the winter.
They're not playing live. They're just coming in to talk, and we're going to feature some of their music.
And who's playing with the Morse code or guitar string or something?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
No.
See, I can't listen to this over again. What was that?
I don't know what you're talking about, Shannon.
You don't hear that?
I hear a horrible phone connection with a lot of static.
How about now?
No, I don't. Oh, I heard a couple of clicks.
Yeah.
Is someone tapping your phone?
Yes.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's just nothing. And I just wanted to say, I know you didn't take it this way, but bad, in other words, but I just, I had his back. I was just, I don't know if he's under the weather or what. If you're not easy, just call up and say hi and bye-bye. Okay?
All right, Shannon.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Jesus. All right. Well, that was Shannon. 603-250-6007 is the studio line. If you'd like to call us, 603-250-6007. Please, no loud sounds into the phone, though, if we could. Let's see. Oh, we're getting a call. Let's see. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
I thought that if Eric Pilcher calls in after I do, you can get a trifecta.
A trifecta of what?
You can fill in the enigma of the trifecta.
Okay.
Hey, is it true that Ugly Fat Joe, the slob, has been calling your show? I heard him like a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. But did he really call in like just yesterday or the day before that?
No, he calls now and then, but we don't talk about him. I made promises that we don't talk about him when he's not
right.
when he's not joining us. So yeah, it doesn't matter.
as flatulent during personal calls as he is on his own YouTube channel?
Don't worry about him. What else is on your mind, John?
I don't know, but somebody sent me a clip of somebody we was on the do not talk about list, and it just brought back old antagonisms, you know?
Oh, I see. Yes. I understand.
Is there anything going on in politics today?
No, nothing. I can't believe how boring politics is these days. There's just nothing. Yeah. Oh, there was a...
Really?
No, not really. Oh, there was a Republican debate last night.
There was.
Yes, a vice presidential / looking for a cabinet position in the Trump administration debate. Very exciting. Lots of people talking over each other and interrupting each other. Very productive. Learned a lot.
Some quarters of the media are trying to push Nikki Haley. Has she got any traction in the polls? I mean, the New Hampshire primaries in January. January 14th or the 26th? I'm not quite sure. Maybe Eric Pilcher can call in because Iowa is just before that. And I know he's getting ready for the caucuses.
Caucus? You hardly know us. I don't even know...
Not two caucuses.
Right, no.
Not Kitty.
I don't even know. Are we still first? I know the DNC wants South Carolina to go first. I don't even know what the status of that is at this point.
According to sources, there's not going to be a New Hampshire primary for Democrats. Because the DNC is demanding it be held at a certain time.
Right.
And the Republican primary is going on. First in the nation primary after the Iowa caucuses, which should have been gotten rid of. Sorry, Eric Pilcher, because they're just a debacle.
Oh, I don't think he'd. I don't think he'd argue with you. I don't think he'd argue with you. He's participated in that before. He also, I think he's used the word debacle. In fact.
But from what I'm hearing, and nobody's talking about, the Secretary of State is only going to be running, the Secretary of State of New Hampshire, which runs elections, is only going to be running on New Hampshire primary day because that's state law. So if the Democrats, because of the DNC, have their primary after Nevada, I think the New Hampshire becomes third in the primaries. I think it's supposed to be on a Saturday. It's all screwy because, Joe Biden never did well in New Hampshire, came in fifth in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's strong-armed the party into getting his way. He's not going to be on the ballot in New Hampshire. Our old friend RFK Jr. now says he's going to run as a libertarian.
Wait,
he is on he is running as a Democrat.
I was going to say he hasn't announced switching to libertarian, although I know there is a rumor that he might.
Well, he's already talked to the head of the Libertarian Party.
Yeah,
and that's who he is. He's ignored the 200 Democrats in the State House. People that aren't in New Hampshire need to understand that everybody in New Hampshire has either been a state rep, like your significant other, or knows somebody, is directly related to one.
Yes.
Or has slept with one, or,
At least
there's 400.
At least had a conversation with one at the very least. Yeah.
And one of the benefits of being a state rep in New Hampshire, there isn't much. You only get $100 a year, and you have to cough up $84, for various things, your license plate, this and that. So you get $14 a year. During the quadrennial New Hampshire presidential primary, presidential candidates will, lobby you, court you.
Yes.
And incredibly, RFK Jr. has had nothing to do with any Democrats. And like I said before, he hired a right-wing Republican MAGA congressman's ex-wife. They live in Maine. They're originally from Orange County, California, which is notorious where the John Birch Society came out of and that.
Mm-hmm.
And he hired right-wing, I call them anarcho-libertarian Republicans to be in his campaign. I mean, it's just what we'd call in the Army a cluster, But the funny thing is nobody's talking except Arnie Arneson. Arnie Arneson's the only person talking about the Democrats, I guess, have to hold the primary according to the DNC because they don't want to cross Biden and the DNC because they hold the money. Look what they did to Carol Shea Porter, a incumbent congresswoman many years ago. They just withheld money from her.
Why? What was the reason? Why did they withhold money?
They said that she wasn't going to win, and then she lost by like 10,000 votes. Remember her and Frank Ginta, the old Congress? They used to swap the seat every 2 years.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes.
But it's no Dem. Of the 4 people that represent New Hampshire in Congress, 2 in the House and 2 in the Senate. None of them are talking about this. But according to Arnie Arneson, Secretary of State's not going to hold a primary just for the Democrats. It's really hard to get information on all this.
Well, I know the state law is, and the second part of this I didn't know until recently, but obviously, so we have a state law that says we have to go first, but the other part of that law is that you cannot split the primary. So both the Democratic and the Republican primaries have to happen simultaneously. I don't know.
Well, why would the Secretary of State hold 2 primaries?
Right.
How much money that would cost.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there are any states that split it up, actually. But because that part of what has fascinated me about this whole conundrum is that it seems to me that for New Hampshire to allow somebody else to go first, everybody has to be on board. And why would the Republicans go along with that? The Republicans aren't going to go along with that. Governor Sununu's not going to go along with that just because the DNC says so. So then what happens,
Well, Matt, I'm glad you asked because I'm going to call up the Secretary of State's office on Monday because, Friday, that's a good day to take off, particularly when you're a bureaucrat. I mean,
right.
It's so boring. Even you get used to those 2 to 3 hour days. And by the time Friday rolls around, screw it.
Right.
I was in the Army, and I got a kind of bureaucratic job.
Uh-huh.
And Monday, maybe Tuesday would be the best time. Maybe they'll be there Tuesday.
Right.
When should you take your car in to get it fixed? Friday, you don't want them fixing it. They'll screw up. Monday, they'll probably be coming off a long drunk, Tuesday, Wednesday seems to be okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? What about Thursday? Today's Thursday. Why not today?
Yeah, well, it's a little too late because until I started listening to Shannon, I didn't even think about this.
Right.
Because it was Chubby Checker was actually talking about the New Hampshire primary, which is an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in the soul of, Chuck Berry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the soul of America.
Part of the lyrics sung on one of your shows by yet another person we can't talk about who called them Chubby Checkers.
Mm-hmm.
The famous Checkers speech, right?
Oh, yes.
But,
yes.
Christ, I don't mean to bring the Lord's name in vain, particularly since I found a crucifix the other day, which being a Protestant, we don't have crucifixes, we just have crosses. We don't have, the bleeding, broken body of Jesus on the cross in our depictions. But
I didn't know
that. This is something we got to figure out. Oh, you didn't know that Protestants don't have the crucifix?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, I consider a crucifix as a cross with Christ hanging on it. When I was a kid, everybody's a Catholic in Manchester. There were 4 Protestants in the entire city, which I was one of them.
Yeah.
And they used to have those bleeding, realistic ones.
Yeah.
Really gory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. But I'm just babbling now. I think I've caught a disease or something.
Oh no!
So it's time to shuttle me out with some soft music or something.
Oh,
we will get to the. We got to find out what's happening. Is there going to be a ballot? I'm a registered Democrat.
I keep wondering about this.
Yeah, Arnie's a good person. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about, but good God,
Yep, she hosts.
But okay, Matt. Okay, ho hum.
All right, John. Well, I appreciate the call.
Yes, there seemed to be a brain fog that seemed to come over me.
That's all right. You're fine. Well, you did say you think you might have caught a disease, so you should probably seek medical attention.
Yes, I was looking at the Drudge report. That was enough to make anybody diseased.
I understand.
But, we're not going to talk about Le Grand Orange.
All right, John.
Incidentally, that was Rusty Staub, the old Montreal outfielder.
Oh, okay.
I know, it means different things. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't call in and complain about the horrifying Red Sox uniforms when Kyle was on the show, but, please give me some credit for some self-restraint that I didn't.
Good for you. Yes, we're very proud. We're very proud of you.
Take care.
All right, John. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye. Bye. All right, that was the great John Hopwood, or John C. Hopwood. And that opens up the line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007, if you would like to join us. And we'll catch up with the Facebook live chat here as well. John also had posted in the Facebook live chat, I'm watching Morton Downey Jr. right now, multitasking. I saw Morton Downey Jr. live. It was, I think it was at kind of the height of his fame with the Morton Downey Jr. show. Of course, this goes way back. And he actually did a tour. He took the show on tour, and he went to the Capitol, what was it called at that time? Because they changed the name at one point. The Capitol Theater in Concord. And he would and it was basically just it was very similar to his television show, but just a live show on stage. And he had this bit where somebody would come out on stage and they would pretend to be a local city official, and they would read to him this thing about, please keep your language clean. We don't want any profanity. And then Mort would grab the paper out of their hand and swear at them, and then crumple up the paper and throw it at them. And apparently he did that at every show. John Hopwood said in the chat room too, I was just listening to Howard Stern on a Monday show belch and be an SOB while talking about Dana Plato killing herself after being on his show the previous Friday. The prerogatives of the erstwhile king of all media. Isaac Banks says, good afternoon, hashtag Eric Pilcher. How are you doing? Maybe you can do another movie review of 1987 Ruskies. I don't even know that movie. Starring Whip Hubley, Leaf Phoenix, before he was Joaquin Phoenix, and Susan Walters? Alrighty. I'm sure Eric will take that under advisement. Isaac Banks also suggested, hi, hashtag Eric Pilcher. You have the list of the movie review of 1988's Jack's Back, right? Yeah, I still don't know that. I still don't know that movie. Let's see. John Hopwood says, arms control advocates fear the worst and worry existing guardrails offer insufficient checks given the existential risks. Critics call self-operating weapons killer robots or slaughter bots because they are powered by artificial intelligence and can technically operate independently to take out targets without human help. That does sound frightening. Isaac Banks says, oh, now you're talking, Isaac Banks. He says, Matt Connarton, I seen a film of the movie of Revenge of the Nerds 3, The Next Generation, is late Morton Downey. Oh, Morton Downey Jr. is in that movie? I don't remember that. I don't know if I ever even... I loved the first movie when I was a kid, and the second one I thought was okay, and then it kind of degraded over time. But let's see. Shannon is back on the line. Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry if I put Hoppy into a trance or something, but sometimes, you know, I've said this before. You don't learn if you don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering if, you know, I figured out of the people that are on the Book of Faith, I don't know why, but I figured John Hopwood would know about if Churchill had said that or not. It's not life-threatening that I need to know.
Uh-huh.
And
well, I'm glad
MRI,
it's not life-threatening. That's good.
No. I think it's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside of an enigma.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or a riddle in yeah. So anyway, I think it's the I put it if you put it in MRI form, then you know. You know.
What?
Mystery.
Something about an MRI?
Yes, mystery. M for mystery.
Oh.
R for riddle. I. Do you spell enigma another? Was it not an I?
Enigma would be with an E.
Hey, MREs. Why not? All right. Hoorah. Bye-bye.
All right.
Oh,
well,
I get a request.
Uh-huh.
Maybe Eric Pilcher could do Scent of a Woman or Trouble with the Curve with Clint Eastwood.
Perhaps
sometime.
he will.
Perhaps.
Hmm.
Perambulate. Okay.
All right, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Jeez, it's so loud when she hangs up. That didn't used to happen. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's John C. Hopwood.
Oh, John C. Hopwood. How are you? I was talking to John Hopwood earlier. This is a coincidence.
The C is for Churchill.
Oh, John Churchill Hopwood. I like the sound of that.
Yes, it was Winston Spencer Churchill who said of Russia that it was a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma in 1939 when Russia was trying to sound out the West for an alliance with Hitler, against Hitler, before signing on in August with Hitler, and then, you know, carving up Poland with Hitler. But, you know, that's politics, right? Incidentally, as I've said countless times on your show, Winston Spencer Churchill is my 17th cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Because through the Spencers, Diana is my, Princess Diana Spencer
Mm-hmm.
is my 19th cousin. And I actually met her father, who was my 18th cousin, not knowing that he was my 18th cousin. So I think that gives me a certain sense of authority,
Mm-hmm.
like when I talk about vertically challenged people and call them midgets, which I just found out from Wikipedia. You can't use the word midget anymore. The correct term now is dwarf.
Yes, I believe that term became politically incorrect and unacceptable in 1989, I believe was the year.
Yet it seems like a midget because, you know, there's midget submarines, there's midget this or that. You think that would be the non-pejorative of word. And dwarf makes them sound like something out of The Hobbit. But, of course, The Hobbit was big box office, making billions of dollars. So who'd have thunk it, right?
I know.
But
it's such a tangled web.
To the Spencer family.
Yes.
I just want to say Winston Spencer Churchill was a fascist.
Really?
FDR, the man who saved the West, and the greatest man of the 20th century. I also put people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. up there, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they didn't have to deal with Hitler. Died, so he couldn't write his version of the war. So Churchill, who was a great writer, and had been writing since he was in his 20s, and won the Nobel Prize for Literature, by the way, rewrote the war with himself as the hero. But he was an old fart and an old fascist, even if he is one of my kinsmen. And with that, I'll just say, Eric Pilcher, why haven't you called in yet? Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Or Dos Vidania.
Dos Vidania, yes. All right. Very good. I would just like to say, speaking of Spencers, I was always a big fan of Laura Spencer, the character played by Jeannie Francis on General Hospital. And the inspiration for the song Think of Laura by Christopher Cross. Hans Smith of Sepsis in the chat room says, I had the great honor of meeting Robert Downey Jr. when they were making the film The Judge in Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts. And the one funny thing, when a crowd was forming, he said, "You all are normal." We all just started cracking up. JFed in the chat room, of course, from the great state of Vermont, says, "What is going on today?" John Hopwood says, "We'll talk about Laura Spencer tomorrow." Oh, how exciting. Very good. Yes. Yeah, it was a whole big thing. They thought she was dead. The thing is, she was dead, but in soap operas, if you've never watched or seen a soap opera, no one ever really dies. They come back to life eventually. There's a big, storyline where it turns out they weren't really dead. And, that was something that General Hospital used, a trope that they used quite a bit, but I think all soap operas use that trope to the extent that there are still soap operas. I think General Hospital might be the last man standing. Hans Smith says, "I grew up on General Hospital, LOL. Yes. I got hooked on it when I was a kid. I don't watch it currently, but I did for a long time. I blame my mother for that. She got me hooked on it one summer. John Hopwood said, "I was watching General Hospital when Reagan was shot." Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. See, I don't know. I think the band is going to be a little bit late, so we might run long on this segment. And then we'll, when they get here, we'll get them settled in. We'll play a track and show some love to our sponsors. Or John says, or maybe I was watching it when the reports from the hospital came in. I first watched it in the early 1960s. And Hans says, Mr. Rick Springfield, what a dude. Yes, he played Noah Drake on General Hospital. Let's look at, now I did refer to the Republican debate last night. Lots of people talking over each other, lots of people interrupting. I don't know if it's going to be mentioned. I've got a story here from NPR, 6 takeaways from the Republican debate. Just a couple of observations I have. Nikki Haley probably had the best night. I think that although she got personal with Vivek Ramaswamy, not the first time. I think we saw this in the previous debate too, saying something about I feel dumber every time I hear you talk or something like that. She just is not having it with him. I thought Chris Christie said something I found very cringe. Oh, let me see if I could actually find the clip. I mean, I thought the way Chris Christie, what he did at the end of the night, I thought was pretty good. But there was a comment earlier. He was talking about Trump, and I don't know if I'll even be able to find this right away. I should have had it queued up. But basically, let me see. Oh, I think this is it. Let's see. Okay, so this is all the instances of Donald Trump taking fire during the debate last night. And needless to say, it's a short clip because, they all tiptoe around Trump. Not they all, literally, of course. Chris Christie does not. Ron DeSantis actually went on Trump at one point. I was surprised by it. But here, this is about a minute long. This is from The Guardian. This is all the times that Trump took fire last night. But the Chris Christie, there's something Chris Christie said that sounded so rehearsed it actually came across as very cringe, even though I agreed with the substance of what he was saying. But here, let me play this.
We've got to bring law and order back to this country, and not just in our cities, But we need law and order back everywhere. We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there. We need it in our rural areas. People feel threatened there. And we need it in Washington, D.C. also. And Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight. Not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on this stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Where's Joe Biden?
Oh, God, that's cringe. I hated that. We're going to call you Donald Duck. Oh, dude. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of immediately, and I'm not even going to try to find this right now, but during the 2016 Republican debates, when Chris Christie was being attacked for the hug with Obama, when Obama came after Hurricane Sandy, when Obama came to survey the damage in New Jersey. And by the way, the hug that never actually happened, but it was repeated so many times by various people that at the end of the visit that Christie and Obama hugged, that I actually have a mental image of it in my mind. But it's like Mandela effect stuff. It never actually happened. There was there was a firm handshake, of course. But because Chris Christie, he did say he thanked Obama for visiting, and he said after the fact, he said, look, the president and I, we disagree on many things, but, this was months later. He said, the president came through with every single promise that he made to me that day about how the federal government was going to help us. He delivered on everything he promised, and I appreciate that. Being like a mature adult instead of the standard politician. So, but then he was still taking flack for that during the 2016 Republican debates, and he goes, so to try to deflect all of that, he tried to get aggressive about Obama, even though Obama wasn't on the ballot, obviously, because it was at the end of his second term. But he goes, and coming this November, we're going to kick you out of office, President Obama, like trying to be all tough, big tough guy. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, Obama's leaving anyway. It'll be the end of his second term. You don't have to kick him out. He'll leave voluntarily, unlike somebody else we've seen since then. He'll leave voluntarily, but Christie's like, oh, we're going to, so it's, but yeah, that Donald Duck thing, very, very cringe. It just sounded so rehearsed, and it's just lame. Anyway, there's a little more. So there's a part here where, and by the way, it's not that I disagree with the substance of what Chris Christie said. I do agree. I just didn't like the Donald Duck thing. That ruined it. All right. And it just sounds, and it's obvious that he rehearsed it. Okay, here's the rest of this.
Where's Joe Biden? He's completely missing in action from leadership. And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action.
Ooh, now this surprised me. This did surprise me.
Should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend.
And he got some applause for that.
And his record, where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt.
And that was it. Although that actually wasn't it, because there was, so the Guardian missed something here when they put this short clip together. Because at the end of the debate, let me see if I can find the other thing that Chris Christie did. At the end of the night, they nope, it showed up in the search, which means I'm not the only one looking for it today. Yeah, I can't find the clip. I should have had it ready. I didn't know if I was going to talk about this or not. At the end of the night, one of the moderators said, okay, so, you've all got a marker, a Sharpie, and paper in front of you. I want you all to write down who would you vote off the island if you could vote anyone on this stage, because, Trump is the front runner and he's probably going to be the nominee. I don't remember who said it, and they probably put it a little more delicately than I am. I'm paraphrasing, but basically it was Trump's going to be the nominee. You all know it. But if you could vote someone on this stage off of the island, who would you vote off? Now, Ron DeSantis spoke up first and said something like, oh, this is childish. what do you want us to do this for? This is silly. I don't particularly disagree with him, to be honest with you. But then nobody wanted to answer. Everybody got really uncomfortable. But then Chris Christie seized on the moment, and he said, well, you know who we should vote off the island is Donald Trump. And then he went on this rant about how, basically, he said, I respect every man and woman on the stage who showed up tonight to this debate. And you know who didn't show up? You know who doesn't have enough respect for you, the voters, to show up, and you, the viewers? Donald Trump. So I say, let's vote him off the island. But it was pretty good in the moment. And nobody else really got a chance to say anything at that point, but they were all so terrified at the question to begin with. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, that Donald Duck thing is hard to get over, though. That was awful. John Hopwood in the chat room says the Yeti is fat shaming again. No. There are things I like about Chris Christie, but there are also things, but I'll never trust him for one thing, because I think he absolutely knew about Bridgegate. And there's also a lot of issues where I disagree with him. But the Donald Duck thing, that's almost unforgivable. Almost. I'll forgive him if we can get him on the show. If you'd like to come in here and, Governor, if you'd like to come in here and sit down with us, I'll treat you fair, I promise. And I will forgive you for the Donald Duck comment. Oh, that was so cringe. Chris Rose from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts joins us in the chat room. And JFed says he needs to be voted off the island. Yes. Who? Chris Christie? No. We can't vote him off. No. But listen, again, like I always talk about, none of, I thought the debate was kind of an S show. A lot of talking over each other, a lot of interrupting, a lot of arguing, but it was great theater. And that's all it is. None of these people are going to be the Republican nominee. It's going to be Trump. I don't know why anyone was surprised that he wasn't there. I remember leading up to the debate, there was all this, is he going to, at last minute, is he going to say I'm in? He's got a long-standing feud with the Reagan Library, which is where the debate was last night. And I don't remember how it started, but he's got a long-standing feud with them. If you recall, in 2016, he skipped that debate too, because they always do a Republican debate at the Reagan Library during the primaries. When there's a Republican primary to be had, of course, when there's not an incumbent in office, or Republican incumbent. And Trump skipped it in 2016 too. I think he had a rally somewhere instead. So there was no chance he was going to be at this one. Oh my goodness, I just got an alert. Somebody's posted a video. The end times is now. Oh, I've heard that a lot about the end times being today or tomorrow or yesterday. And yes, it is someone I know and many of the listeners are familiar with who apparently posted that video about the end times. So none of these people on that stage last night are going to be the nominee. I think that, who was there? So Will Hurd wasn't there again, second debate in a row. He didn't qualify for. But I think of the people who were there, I think that it was 7 candidates. Who else didn't make it? So just quickly. So here's who was there from left to right, because that's how the picture is I'm looking at. So you've got North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, who I thought had a better night than in the first debate. In the first debate, he seemed a little nervous, maybe not ready for prime time. Last night, he seemed more confident, more focused. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, of course. I don't know what his plan is long term. Again, all of these people, look, they're all smart people. Every single one of these people realizes they're not going to be the nominee, but there are many other reasons to run for president, right? You want to be a Veep, you want, and then so you can eventually be president, right? You want a cabinet position. You want your own cable news show. You're trying to sell your book. You're trying to raise your national profile so that you can charge more money in speaking fees. You're going to run for president again in the future, and this is a test run, and you're making connections and all that, right? So it could be any number of reasons why you would run for president, knowing that you have zero chance of winning. Chris Christie, I think he might want his own cable news show. He's very good on television. It would make sense. Former UN ambassador and, of course, former governor Nikki Haley. Definitely not going to be Trump's Veep or have a cabinet position. She's already been there, done that. I think that she's probably going to run again in 2028. This is the prelude to that. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, of course, I think is probably running in 2028. This is the prelude to that. Vivek Ramaswamy, I think he likes being famous. Not a serious person as a candidate. I've talked about how, he comes across to me as the way I just perceive him. He seems like a crypto bro who's really excited because he just drank a couple of Red Bulls and he's about to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he's very excited. That's how he comes across to me. Senator Tim Scott. I do think Tim Scott might be a potential Veep for Trump and, or possibly a cabinet position in his future in a Trump administration. So, of course, former Vice President Mike Pence, that one's obvious. He's selling his book. He's got a book to sell. He's selling it. This is a book tour for him. He knows he's not going to be the nominee, and he's obviously not going to serve in the administration and if Trump wins in some other fashion. And that was everybody. And as always, everybody tiptoes around Trump except for Chris Christie. And DeSantis, like I said, he took that one shot. I remember now who wasn't there. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, because in the previous debate there were 8. So he didn't qualify for this one. So maybe he'll be the first to drop out, or Will Hurd, who again didn't qualify for this one. John Hopwood brings up a good point. They live high on the hog while they're campaigning, spending the campaign cash on 5-star restaurants. Yes, that's a great point. Yeah, and it looks like fun. Yeah, you get to eat at 5-star restaurants and meet a lot of important people and have a good time and give speeches. And you get to go to debates where you say a lot of stuff that you can't, make promises you can't fulfill and whatnot, even if you get elected, but you can say whatever you want to because you're not going to be elected because you're not even going to win the nomination. So, there are other reasons to run for president, and it does look like fun. Let's look at this. This is from NPR, 6 takeaways from the second GOP debate. Primary debates are about winnowing down the field of candidates to land on the eventual nominee for a major party. The winnowing process continued at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California, where 7 Republicans showed up ready to fight. By the way, not to be critical of this article on NPR.org, but no, this series of debates is not about winnowing down candidates to land on a nominee. The nominee is going to be Donald Trump. That's not an opinion. That's not a prediction. That's a fact. We all know it. Again, they're all running for, and they all know it. Every single one of those people on the debate stage, they know it too. So they're all running for other reasons. So it says here, just 7 candidates took part in this debate, down from the 8 last month in Milwaukee after former governor of Arkansas, Governor Asa Hutchinson, failed to qualify this time. There's less than 4 months before the first nominating contest in Iowa on Jan 15. By the way, do you remember in 2016, there were so many candidates who were qualifying. See, the RNC has really moved the goalposts here to make it harder. There were so many candidates in 2016 running for the Republican nomination that they had, at least for the first few, they would actually have 2 sets of debates. And I called it, at the time, the kids' table. They had the kids' table debates and the adults' table debates, just like during the holidays. So they would have the kids' table debate first. All the candidates who absolutely, totally had no shot it's hard to remember who was at the kids' table debates because it was the kids' table. The only one that really stands out to me is Senator Lindsey Graham. He was at the kids' table because these are for the people polling at like 1%. And then they had the adults table, which was, obviously Trump and Christie and Rubio and Kasich and all the others. John Hopwood says it's unlikely that Trump would serve a full term after being elected, so the GOP Veep nominee might be the 48th president. And John says, yes, Lindsey Graham at the kids' table. Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont joins us and says, hey, guys. Hey, Melanie. Let's see. It says here, again, this is from NPR. That made for a debate that was at times unruly, with the three moderators struggling to control the conversation as candidates talked and shouted over each other. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, at the bottom of the pack in current polls and the last to qualify to appear in the debate, tried to elbow his way into more airtime, jumping in to answer a question about childcare out of turn before moderator Dana Perino of Fox News cut him off. The debate wrapped up with a surprising moment of decorum when the candidates refused to answer a single question posed by Perino, who asked each candidate to single out one rival who should be voted off the island. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis balked, saying, quote, I think that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors, unquote. Former Governor Chris Christie visibly indicated his agreement. Christie eventually said that he would, quote, vote Donald Trump off the island right now. Every person on this stage has shown respect for Republican voters, unquote, by showing up. Christie adding that Trump has divided the country and divided families. Yeah, that was interesting, by the way. I'll find that clip and I'll play it on tomorrow's show. Christie talked about, it surprised me actually, but he talked about the division. Like he talked about how divisive Trump is in terms of how, you know, people even in their own families, they have family members who, you know, their relationships are strained with now because of Trump, because they disagree about Trump. Trump is so divisive. Now, I have a lot of feelings about that, but I'll leave that to the side. But it was interesting to hear Christie talk about that, actually. So some other takeaways from last night's debate. It says Haley on fire again. Yeah, I think she acquitted herself well. And I think there was a poll right after the debate that showed a lot of viewers felt that she won, you know, to the extent that there could be a winner. Again, the debate was kind of an S show. It says former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who's been gaining ground, particularly in New Hampshire, and outpacing DeSantis in some key polls, showed up with gloves off. She sparred with both DeSantis and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott over energy policy. During a heated exchange about how to regulate social media use by teens, Haley told entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy what will perhaps be the single most memorable line, quote, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber, unquote. Ramaswamy responded by complaining about the fruitlessness of personal attacks as the discussion descended into yet another shouting match between the moderators and candidates. In an apparent sign that Trump views Haley as a potential threat, his campaign released a statement before the debate even ended, attempting to lessen her credibility, calling her weak on immigration. By the way, that is interesting to me that the campaign would even bother to do that. Trump won't participate in these debates. He wants to remain above the fray. By the way, as much as, you know, I'm no fan of Trump, as listeners know, but I do think that politically it is smart for Trump to stay out of the debates. People are still, you know, wondering, even today, what about the next debate? Maybe Trump will show up for the next one. Guys, I got news for you. Trump will not show up for a single Republican primary debate. He will not. He's not coming to any of these. He has no reason to. There's just no reason to. He's going to be the nominee. He can cruise. There's no reason for him to show up at any of these debates. He has nothing to gain from it, and he knows that. So, you know, we can forget about that. But I am surprised that they bothered to. I mean, do they actually see Nikki Haley as a threat? That does surprise me if that is the case. Let's see. The front runner was absent but not ignored. Instead of attending the debate, Trump held a rally in Michigan at a non-union auto parts manufacturing plant. The visit seemed designed to contrast with President Biden's decision to join auto. Okay, we know about that. I'm going to skip down here. Actually, yeah, we already covered that because I played those clips. Okay, next takeaway. China is the foreign policy thread through all things. China loomed large throughout the debate. Whether the topic was its dominance in the energy and technology sectors, its role in the flow of fentanyl into the U.S., efforts to control Taiwan, and friendliness between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin amid Russia's ongoing war against Ukraine. Haley called for ending normal trade relations with China until the fentanyl supply is cut off and said, quote, a win for Russia is a win for China, unquote. Christie hit on similar themes. warning of alliances between China and Russia, saying, quote, if we give him any of Ukraine, next will be Poland, unquote. And by the way, and I think Chris Christie has been very good on that, as well as Nikki Haley and some others. And it's important to point that out because there are some Republicans who would very much like to abandon Ukraine. There's very much a split in the Republican Party on that subject. One thing I disagree with, though, is the idea, and I think it's just being said for rhetoric. I don't know how many people who say this actually believe it. The idea that Poland is next or would be next or could be next or would have been next had we not supplied Ukraine with help. That I don't believe. I don't believe that Vladimir Putin ever had an idea of taking Ukraine and then moving on to Poland, because Poland is NATO, and that was not going to happen. So I just don't, a little bit of a side note, but I've never bought into that idea that NATO, that Putin was going to take Ukraine and then try to attack NATO. That would be pretty insane, assuming that Putin is still a rational actor of sane mind. I mean, that would be World War III. That would wind up in a nuclear exchange. So I don't believe that was ever on the menu. But it's a good talking point, I suppose, if you support Ukraine. I support Ukraine also, and I support our helping Ukraine. But you're never going to hear me say, well, we have to help Ukraine because Poland is next. I would never say that, just because to me it's not honest. I don't think that's true. I'll give you my argument for why we need to help Ukraine, but I'm not going to start spouting off about, well, other NATO countries could be attacked by Russia. I mean, that would be suicidal of Vladimir Putin to do that. So anyway, next takeaway. I'm going to try to speed through these because I think the band is arriving soon. The fading memory of Ronald Reagan. This is something we've talked about on the show, by the way. People used to evoke Reagan all the time until Trump showed up. And then all of a sudden they had a new hero. Republicans used to evoke Reagan all the time. The debate was held at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California, and the event opened with iconic images and speeches from the 40th president. Several questions referred to Reagan, who has taken on a near mythical status among some in the party. Candidates, including Senator Scott and former Vice President Mike Pence, have invoked his name on the campaign trail, with Pence seeking to differentiate the party of Reagan from the party of Trump. Even so, more than 40 years have passed since Reagan took office, and it's unclear how much that image will continue to resonate with younger voters with little or no memory of him. That's in a party that is struggling to win over young voters, a key demographic in the upcoming general election. This was weird, and I didn't like it. Sleeping with teachers. One of the weirder lines of discussion surrounded, that's right, politicians, quote, sleeping with teachers. Spoiler alert, the teachers in questions were their wives, but don't let that get in the way of a good snarky quip. During a conversation about the power of teacher unions, Christie attacked President Biden, saying, quote, when you have the president of the United States sleeping with a member of the teachers union, there is no chance that you could take the stranglehold away, unquote. First Lady Jill Biden has spent her career as an educator. Several minutes later, Pence followed up by joking that he has been, quote, sleeping with a teacher for 38 years, unquote. But he did make the distinction that his wife, a former Second Lady Karen Pence, is not a union educator. Still, good luck getting those images out of your head. Yeah. And that's why I didn't like that. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to play. This is of the tracks that they sent us, because like I said, I believe the guys are going to be arriving shortly. So we'll take our break now. This is 1400 BC. This is just an epic, epic song. I love this. This is, of course, from the band After the Winter, who are our musical guests today. If you're just joining us, my understanding is they are on their way, but they are stuck in traffic. So hopefully they will arrive soon. I'm really looking forward to meeting them. I love their sound. Great band. I should warn you, though, it's about to get loud and it's about to get heavy. But check this out. This is 1400 BC, and the band is After the Winter. down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria. For delivery, call 603-782-8450. Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town. 1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Best cocktails around. Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
the knob off. You are listening to WMNH 95.3. The commander to the supreme leader, Matzo coming down.
Welcome back, everybody, as we cruise into our final segment today of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, also on Comcast Channel 6 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Thursday, September 28, 2023, and our musical guests are here in studio with us. We have After the Winter. How are you guys?
Hey,
awesome. Or we have most of the band anyway, right? We're missing
4/5.
Now, do you want to make up an amusing and perhaps mildly but radio friendly story for why the other person isn't here?
He's up in a bucket right now.
He's literally in a bucket.
He's somewhere in Worcester.
He's working.
He's working. Yeah, I'm traffic late.
I gotcha.
He's our lead guitar player. It's Chad Mayers.
Yeah,
he's here in spirit.
Yeah, he's totally not getting. He said he might try to call in. Actually,
we are all Chad.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And by the way, and for those of you watching online, you'll be able to see if I face this way, the camera can pick it up. So these guys brought a couple of shirts, and I love it. Very cool.
Sweet. Yeah, we got some merch coming out pretty soon.
We hope to see you wearing that very soon.
Yeah. Oh, I should put the camera on you too, because you've got some brand new merch you're wearing there. You can really see it's it's in yellow. Yeah, you can if you want.
See that backside.
Very cool.
Let's see those poses.
I dig the logo.
There's the sleep demon.
Yes, the I've had sleep paralysis before. Yeah, very nice, very nice. By the way, Tom Blanchard in the chat room said, good song, but hard to whistle to.
Fair. That's fair.
And Melanie, our friend from Vermont, says, this sounds like the song we used to sing to our kids before they went to sleep.
That's fantastic.
Also fair.
I actually play that for my kids when they go to sleep.
Very nice.
That's why they never sleep.
J-Fed says, now that's a beard. That's a
freshly
common...
trimmed. So, I just got it trimmed today, actually. Yep.
That's funny. So yesterday on the show, we had Hands of Spite. I don't know if you guys know that band.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
But the gentleman who was at the news desk yesterday also had a big beard.
Nice. I guess we belong. The beards belong at the table.
Yes.
Beard bros.
Absolutely. Well, let's do this. So let's start at the news desk. And if you can each tell us who you are and what you do in the band.
All right. So my name is Chris. I'm the vocalist of After the Winter. I'm an original member.
All right. And on the couch?
I'm Cody. I'm rhythm guitar. I'm the newest member to the band. Was a fan of the band when I was younger. My best friend Chad was, lead guitar, and when they got back together, they had me try out, and here I am.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And you?
I am Nick. I am the drummer. I play the Skins. I'm also an original member.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're back after a little hiatus, but
cool.
Back and better than ever, I think.
And in the chair.
My name is Matt. I play bass. And when he originally asked me to join the band, I said no. And, and then he asked me a second time. I said yes. And here we are.
You can tell he's the bass player, too, because you hear his voice very clearly.
Yeah, well, we have a couple things in common. So my name, of course, is Matt, and I'm also a bass player.
It's a great name. Oh, there we go. All right, we should jam later.
Yes.
There you
go. Yeah. So now I'm curious. Why did you say no the first time?
I just had a lot going on. I was in a couple different bands, and I wasn't sure. But then I thought about it, and I was like, well, I'd gladly drop other bands for this band.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Works out.
Well, after hearing the tracks you guys sent me, I think you made the right choice.
I think so, too.
Because I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
In fact, what was the song? I want to make sure I'm talking about the right one. Oh yeah, 1400 BC.
Yes.
I was playing that in the car today, and there's a couple of points in that, and I think it's the bass notes that are doing it. There's a couple of points in that song where I feel it in my stomach.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
is fantastic. I love that you just said that.
I love
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for real.
We like to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really good stuff. Chris, you do all the vocals? Or?
I do, yes. I do cleans and I do the screaming.
It's your approach is interesting. I don't know if anyone has pointed this out before, but very often in bands where you've got the aggressive vocals and the clean vocals, it's usually more of the clean vocals. And then you hear a little bit of the aggressive vocals, but with
we do it the other way.
You do it the other way. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, we thought it's nice to break it up once in a while, and these guys heard me sing, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you have the voice of an angel."
Yeah.
There's actually guest vocals on Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Breadcrumbs. Yeah, it does have guest vocals from the original guitar player from the band, who is Mike Straight,
who wrote 1400.
Yep. He wrote 1400. Yep.
Yeah. That's an epic track.
Thank you for mentioning that, Cody.
I love that. Absolutely.
That seems to be the popular one. People always point out.
Really?
They love 1400. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah. Very cool. And you're from the Boston area, or? Oh no, I'm sorry. You said Western Mass.
Springfield.
Yep. Springfield. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm living in the Boston area right now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now you're going to be at Swarmy Fest this year? Is
We
that
are.
correct?
Yeah, that's
Very
right.
cool.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Excellent. Yep. Jenny and I will be there representing, and really looking
Can't
forward
wait,
to that.
man.
Really looking forward to that. Absolutely.
I actually just texted Will from Sepsis. We're supposed to maybe grab something to eat after this.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Will's a great guy. Sepsis
Absolutely.
is a great band.
We love those guys.
Really good people, and they're doing a lot of great stuff. And they're really good at bringing people together. And obviously,
Yep.
they
I love what they do.
Yep.
They got a podcast. I usually watch it.
Oh yeah. And they're so good live, and they've come a long way too. They've really advanced a lot over time. It's been great to see. Now, do you guys play out a lot? Are you doing a lot of shows?
So this summer we actually did more than we've ever done. We played about 30 shows.
Yeah.
So this year we're at 30 right now.
The most I've ever played. I've never been in a band before, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
This is his first.
Oh, wow.
New for me.
Oh, very cool.
We're breaking them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The right way.
They really are.
How long have you been in the band?
Since what was it?
Like almost a year now.
7 months.
Oh, okay.
8 months.
7 months. Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Some of the stuff is, it's kind of, I mean, it's not like prog rock, but it's a little bit complex compared to a lot of metal that's out there. I mean, has it been challenging to learn it, or did you pick it up pretty quick? Or
Oh yeah, man. Some songs are harder than others, and some things that you think that are going to be hard are actually the easy parts, and some of the hardest parts are like just chugs.
Yeah.
There'll just be some like breakdowns and rhythm parts that are just like, they'll be like, it's dun 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 dun. And I'm like,
we have
I'm
that
just
problem. We find to have that problem a lot with lead players. So I think that Cody's supposed to be a lead player.
Yeah.
Because our lead players, it takes them forever to learn the simple stuff. They're like, dude, I don't get this. Like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, sweep all day, but like
right.
Patterns are like
Sweep
too
for
much
days.
Yep.
What are the live shows like? I mean, do you have any kind of theatrics or anything, or you just go out there and play? I mean, because I imagine it's pretty high energy.
It is high energy. We go out there and mostly just play.
Yeah,
we're working
but like we have a Halloween show coming up pretty soon at the camp in Enfield, Connecticut.
Oh,
and so that's gonna be like a costume party. So we're gonna do some weird stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Not too weird though.
Not too weird. Yeah. To a certain degree.
Yeah,
we're gonna get weird, but not that weird.
Yeah.
And
maybe you're not.
Well, who knows?
And where do you record? Because everything sounds really good.
So we record with Ian from the Echo Room Studios. We actually recorded at Zing Studios, which is previously known as the studio where Adam D from Killswitch was the engineer.
Oh, no kidding.
Westfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, wow, cool.
So it was surreal being in there this time. I mean, we shared the same equipment as Killswitch Engage, Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, wow.
Big bands like another one, an old school band that I was friends with is Legia. Those guys recorded there.
Yep.
Oh wow, very cool.
They have like a cool wall in there that you get to sign to. Like,
yeah, that was,
we have that.
That was nifty.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, we'll have to sign it.
We need to sign
that.
Definitely. Awesome.
Now, how did you make that connection to record it? That what went into picking that studio to to record at?
So we've been sticking with the same guy since we started this, and we took like an 11-year hiatus. We had kids, people had things going on.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
For real, 11 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we just came back this year.
No kidding.
So we just came back and we've been hitting it hard. We decided to stick with Ian because he's a great dude and he's got a great ear for the music. We just love what he does. We love how he mixes and masters everything.
Easy to work with, just really cool.
Yeah.
He gets it. He really gets it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does he because a lot of times, engineers become like de facto producers, it kind of happens by accident.
Yeah,
is that what it's like with him?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just knows what he wants to hear, and we always agree with him. So
Yeah.
it works out. So, whatever you say, that's cool.
Otherwise, he might beat us with a stick.
He's got the ear.
Yeah, we don't like getting beat with sticks.
So we've recorded everything that you hear from After the Winter is recorded with Ian, other than one song. We recorded a song with Ken Susi from Unearth, and now As I Lay Dying.
Oh, no kidding.
That song is called The Hunt.
Okay.
We did that one with him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play that one at the end of the segment. Actually, yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, The Hunt, definitely.
Nice.
By the way, where does the name come from?
After the winter, the best time. The best time is spring.
I agree.
Spring and summer, man. That's it.
That's
that simple.
I
As long
didn't
as you're
have
from New England.
anything to do with the name.
Yeah.
So I always tell people I like to look at it as only the strong survive the winter.
Right, there you go.
So that's my motto.
I like that.
Write angry music in the winter, then play it in the summer.
Yeah, I like that. No, I agree though. That's after the winter.
After the winter, we all come out and we play shows, man.
We emerge anew.
Winter's done. It's a relief. And,
That's right.
I'm with you there. Absolutely. Can you guys talk to me about influences? You mentioned recording at the studio of where Kill Switch Engage.
Yep.
One of those guys, which I'm big fan. I love Kill Switch Engage.
Absolutely.
And I can hear some of that in your music, definitely. What else? Who are some other influences you guys
one of
have?
my biggest influences actually Howard Jones from that band. So he was in a band prior to that called Blood Has Been Shed from Connecticut.
Okay.
Ridiculous band.
That's
Amazing.
that's a cool name.
That's kind of where it all started. This whole scene started there. And,
Yeah.
it goes back and forth. People say Slipknot started it, and I mean Slipknot's heavy too, but Blood Has Been Shed was like what we do. Like they're
really
like heavier than us.
I'll have to look them up. I don't know them, but that's a cool name.
Putting all the pieces together for like what they call metalcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Howard Jones, the singer from Kill Switch, the one that they had new for a while, but
Yeah.
I know Jesse's back now, but Howard Jones, he was in Blood Has Been Shed, and he's one of the best singers I've ever heard, man. Like, he's just incredible.
Oh wow. Oh, very cool. What about you guys? Any?
I love like the Acacia Strain. Things like that. Trying to think.
They played a show that this was way back. They played a show that I promoted locally, actually, before they were like, big.
Yeah, they're from my hometown in Springfield. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Went to see them a lot. I like. I was just thinking of a band.
Knocked.
Oh, Knocked Loose.
Knocked Loose.
Well, we're for newer bands.
We're just listening to him.
Nick's always talking about Knock Loose.
That's his favorite band.
Knock
now.
Loose, if you're listening,
For the
man.
Fallen Dreams.
Nick wants to play a show with you guys.
Yeah, just me. For the fallen, I love For the
Just you
Fallen
by
Dreams,
yourself.
man. Yeah, stuff like that.
What about it?
So for me, I got a whole top 5 probably.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
But I'm.
How much time do we have?
The one, yeah, exactly. The one that I would say is a big influence in my life, and actually is, we went to their concert, and that's how Chad and Chris saw each other again for the first time. Would be August Burns Red.
Yeah.
So they had a big impact on my life, and me and Chad went to that concert, saw Chris, and they talked and decided to put back the band, and I got to meet the drummer Matt that night too. Took a photo with him, and that band I've always loved. So
very cool. What about you, Matt?
Well, I came from a more death metal and black metal background.
Yeah.
I was actually in a black metal band before this, and a completely different kind of music.
What band was that?
Morgeron.
What about other than that?
Other than that, I used to play in a band called Rose Funeral. They're from Ohio. They were on Metal Blade Records. I toured with them in 2008.
he also plays drums.
And I
he's a
mainly
nasty,
play
nasty
drums. That's kind of
drummer,
why when he asked me, I was like, I kind of suck at bass, but I'll try it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. That kind of works
Remind
out. But yeah, I like black and death metal and stuff. So we all kind of have different influences, but we kind of put them together to kind of create something that we like as a unit, pretty much.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Works out.
So many influences here.
Yeah, we have a lot of different influence.
By the way, Sepsis is in the chat room and says, "After the winter" is a very New England name.
It is.
It sure
Yeah,
is.
they
man,
don't
it
have
sure
that in
is.
Arizona.
What's up, Sepsis? How you guys doing? man?
Out west, they're like, what is winter?
Oh,
What is this
that
white stuff?
depends on where out west you are. Geez, California last winter, and some places had a worse winter than we did.
True.
I didn't know about that. That's true. I used my snowblower once last winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the winters here have gotten easier, and they've gotten harder other places. It's amazing.
Traded.
Now the tunes that we've been playing, because I played a couple earlier, Breadcrumb and of course 1400 BC. Are these on an album or are they just singles?
It's our EP release. They are on the EP. The EP is called My Wish, My Dream. We just got the artwork done. What you just saw on my back, that's part of it. And we have somebody working on the EP cover right now. It's almost done. We got some drafts back, and we just had to make some corrections, but
yeah,
it should be dropping really soon.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And now I have to ask you too about so the back of your hoodie there. It's got the sleep demon as you call it.
Yep.
Like what is that inspired by? Like, have you experienced or one of you experienced actual sleep paralysis?
So
I actually have.
I feel like
it's
I have,
funny.
yeah.
I've never told them about this, but I've had like that same thing happen to me.
Really?
Like, a demon
Oh, yeah, when I
on
was a
me,
little kid,
and I
same
couldn't
thing.
move.
Isn't it awful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't move. You just sit there and you're just like, I wish this was over, but you
laying
can't do
and
anything
just
about
like-
it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Cannot move like that.
I can say I've never had that happen. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Not
what
yet.
you're talking about.
Not yet.
That's good.
You will.
My
Be happy.
time.
my experience with it happened to me like 3 times. This was maybe 12 years ago, but I never saw anything. Like I never saw
either.
like anything sitting on me. It was like I was alone in my bed in the dark, and I woke up. At least that's what it felt like. I woke up and I knew somebody was standing over me.
You can feel it.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
Couldn't see them, but I could feel it, and I was paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I've ever admitted this on the air or not, but I actually slept with the lights on for a while. Like after the 3rd time it happened, I
Hey,
started.
we're not judging.
Yeah, that sounds about right. No judgment here.
I started sleeping with the lights on. I was like, I've had enough of this. And
That's scary.
so yeah, so that image is wild, man.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, it's almost like if you know, you know.
Yeah, he's
right.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. But that's good, Chris. You haven't had to suffer through that.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, you woke up a memory.
Good thing I'm sitting at the news desk.
I think the beard protects you.
It saves a lot of food, that's for sure.
Yeah, right.
Flavor
I think it has
saves.
a
Especially
bird in it.
popcorn.
I bet. Do you oil it or something? That's what
I put balm in it.
do you? Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Yeah. That's what.
Otherwise, it'd just be all over the place. You know?
The gentleman from Hands of Spite who sat there yesterday, he said that too. He puts, I think it was balm. He said he puts in his beard.
Yep.
Miriam Banish is in the chat room. She says, I get sleep paralysis, but now I know what it is. It just annoys me. I'm aware when it's happening.
Wow.
That is sleep paralysis. Yeah, it's freaky though. Freaky stuff.
Yeah, I've had that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done a few times.
But I did have one time where I think I was like having a nightmare at the same time, and I did have like this like demon girl on top of me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't move.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was awake or dreaming, and then I woke up like the next day, and I was just like, "Whoa, that happened." But
I can like feel myself inside, and I'm trying to move, and just nothing's happening.
Yeah.
it looked like
Yeah.
The
Really
Grudge,
weird.
kind of, you know. That's
Wow, this
how I could-
actually sounds kind of fun. I'm kind
It's not
of
fun.
disappointed that I don't have
It's not
this.
that great.
It's kind of disappointing that I can't
recommend it.
It is-
engage in this.
It
You
is.
should
No.
experience it once in your life, just so you know.
No, you really shouldn't if you can
maybe- yeah.
avoid it. It's really not. It is not
Yeah,
pleasant.
especially if you have it when
feel
you're
like I'm
on your
missing out.
face. Like I don't know if you ever slept on your face, and I've had it like
Yeah, I used to-
then, and it's just
Oh,
like
that's bad.
I can't breathe. Like
Yeah,
know
because then
what
you
I
got
mean?
them sitting
Well, I
on
think
you.
you're just about to die at that point.
yeah, I haven't had it for years, but
I think you're
yeah.
suffocating yourself.
You know what's weird? I never thought about this before, but I always sleep on my side, always. But for some reason, when I've had the sleep paralysis, I've been on my back.
That's
at least that's how.
interesting. Yeah,
At least that's how I
that's why I
remember it.
have it.
Like I'm
Yeah.
lying there,
Yeah.
I'm on my back, and it's like, oh, someone is standing over me. This is horrible.
Yeah.
So don't ever sleep on your back.
Right?
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
Right.
If you're gonna get anything out of this, just know that.
Don't sleep on your back.
Exactly.
Don't sleep on your back.
Exactly. Well, I hope
If you got a bad hip, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we've helped some people here today with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
I think we have.
It is a fascinating subject. Now, so by the way, do you guys have any lyrics about that, or who writes the lyrics?
So I write the lyrics. Breadcrumbs is actually derived from the story of Hansel and Gretel, and it's a song based on anti-child trafficking. So I tied the story of Hansel and Gretel into it, and there's the part where it says "Nibble, nibble, little mouse."
Yeah,
always nibbling on my house. That's from the Brothers Grimm.
Oh wow, okay, gotcha.
So I do all the lyrics for the band.
Yeah. Do the other tracks, do they have kind of themes where they're sort of specific like that? Where they draw
I'm a history buff.
Are you?
So I try to take stories and like tell the story and get in the person's shoes and and put a modern twist to it.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
Marie, what is it? Let Them Eat Cake is about Marie Antoinette, and I tried to write a song about because there's a lot of misinformation, whatever it be, whatever your opinion is, wherever it lies. But there is misinformation out there, and I thought about how can I write a song that's based upon that to get people to start paying attention.
Yeah,
because apparently if you dig deep enough, she never actually said that. She never actually said "Let them eat cake."
Yeah,
so that's what the song's about. It's my way of getting into her shoes and telling her side of the story.
She was beheaded for no reason.
Correct.
That's interesting.
Apparently,
yeah.
So they say.
I mean,
but that could be misinformation.
Yeah,
right. You never really know.
Full circle.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, that's interesting. Where should the time does go so fast? I want to make sure we have time for that track. But what should people know about how to find you guys online? Where to keep up with everything that you're doing? Obviously, Swarmy Fest is coming up in November. But anything people should know? Website, social media.
We'll let Cody handle this one.
Yeah,
go ahead, Cody. Take it
no
away.
problem. Yeah, so
you got it, Cody.
We're pretty much everywhere. We have afterthewinter.com. We have Instagram, no Twitter yet. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
No Twitter.
Apple.
We're on
Apple
basically
Music,
everything.
Spotify,
So you mean we can't tweet?
Everything. I actually tried to make my Twitter into the After the Winter Twitter because I already got a good amount of
You
followers.
got to get on that, Cody. I want to tweet.
It wouldn't let me change my name, and I was just like, "What the heck, bro?"
We're basically on every music platform. Right?
Yeah.
We're on Spotify,
all that
YouTube.
stuff.
Yep.
I did want to mention that we have Breadcrumbs on YouTube, and we're trying to push that. We want people to check it out as much as possible.
Yeah, cool.
Check that video, definitely.
Smash that subscribe button if you like what you hear.
Is it a music video or is it a lyric? Oh, it's a music
video.
Oh, I got to check that out.
We're
it was fun.
See, a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
I don't think Cake or Breadcrumbs is on it, but the other songs are on SoundCloud as well. I haven't added those two songs on SoundCloud if people use that platform.
Yeah.
But maybe
Is Cake on our main channel right now?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't.
I think it's on the.
I
think it's on the the DistroKid channel.
Yeah. So you might get confused. There's two YouTube channels.
All of our stuff is on YouTube.
Okay.
You can find it all on YouTube. It's just there's only a music video for one song right now.
Yeah.
Jenny just shared a link in the chat room. Is it the After the Winter official YouTube channel?
Yes.
That's the one? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Same
Thank you. What was it? What was the name?
Thank you, Jenny.
Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, she loves the shirts too. She was saying on because she's watching on Facebook. Obviously,
They will be available very soon.
Yes. Yeah. Well, she's going to get one of these, so absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Very cool. Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, I want to make sure we have time to get The Hunt will be the last track that we play. But guys, thank you so much. And
Thank you so much.
Thanks
for having us.
man.
I know.
I wanted to give a shout out real quick to Altar of Next too. Those are our boys, man.
Oh, yeah.
And Carried by Six.
Yeah, both excellent bands.
Good
Once
sandwiches.
we're kings.
Anthony DeMambro. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. He says in the chat room, "Remember the bomb shelter." Oh, I remember the bomb. Did you guys ever play there back in the day?
No.
I know you took an
Bomb
11-year hiatus. Maybe that might be directed to me specifically. The Bomb
Where's that
Shelter,
at?
it was a venue right here in Manchester on Eddy Road. It's where the Planet Fitness is now. Not in that exact, like it was behind where the Planet Fitness is, but because I used to play in a lot of bands and we used to play at the Bomb Shelter all the time.
Rings
That
a
was-
distant bell.
Sounds
Yeah,
It
sick.
kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, all the metal bands in the area used to play at the Bomb Shelter.
I've
and,
always wanted to have a bomb shelter, so
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, that's the rule, man.
Yeah,
Was
we
it-
love playing here, man. This is going to be.
Was that place ever called the Common Grounds?
No.
That's something else. I
That's
think that's Brattleboro or something like. Is that Vermont?
Oh, the Common Ground.
That's Vermont, man.
That's
okay. Sorry, I got it mixed up. That was back in the day.
that is in
That's something
Vermont.
else.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
All right, guys. Thank you again so
Thank
much.
you.
After the winter, and check the. Oh, and by the way, if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, MattConnarton.com. And here it is. This is The Hunt from After the Winter. Check this out.
I will be beaten.
87 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
You are listening to WMNH-LP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
It's time to go through the stage door with the Majestic Theater and the Ted Herbert Music School and Rentals. Through the stage door, everybody. Robbio here. Today we're going to finish our Back to School on Broadway series with part 3. Now, if you missed part 1 and 2, you can go to podbean.com. Lots of great music and shows ahead, so we're going to jump right in. Curtain up.
There's the cool kids, there's the preps, and there's the skate punks and the jocks, and then there's me. There's the losers, there's the nerds, and there's the stoners and the goths, and then there's me. But then there's you, 'cause you're the new kid in the school. You're not defined by one specific breed, and so you're free to flit from group to group, from scene to scene, 'cause you're the conduit, the medium, the go-between, which means you're perfectly positioned to get me what I need.
Look, Archie, I'm the wrong guy for this.
One date, that's all I'm asking.
Isn't there some nice girl on the special needs bus?
They don't like me. Even back before the crutches, it was clear I don't fit here. So it's hopeless. I can't walk right up to Kendra and say, hey, she'd run away. But look at you. You're making friends and having parties and adapting with impressive speed. Just 20 minutes when we're sitting so our knees could touch. Yes, it's a tiny inconvenience, but it means so much. 'Cause out of all of Indiana, you can get me what I need.
It's impossible.
And what I need is Kendra. Kendra. Beautiful Kendra. Kendra. Wonderful Kendra. Make her appear. If you want a girl, the girl you want is Kendra. Very hot. Go tell Kendra I'm waiting here. Here's the problem. Every minute, every second that I wait might be too late. So let's face it, if I ever had a chance, the time is now. So who cares how? Just do your best, and I won't bother you again, and that's a promise guaranteed. So you can help me out and we can both do very well, or I can turn around and make your life a living hell. It's up to you, you've got a choice, you've got incentive to succeed. Yes, I know it sounds insane. Jerry Lewis can explain. You've got to help me, Evan, help what I need.
I'll try.
I knew you would.
His going in the army is the best thing he could do. Now you're free to start to do what you wanted to. Albert, Albert, Albert. I remember how you told me I should trust you for a year. It would just be for a year, but it's 8 years, Albert. 8 long years, Albert.
Rosie, it takes time to build a business.
It was only a sideline, that's what you said. You just needed some money, that's what you said. You were going to college and get ahead. Instead of being a music business bum, you were going to NYU and become an English teacher.